if you spray that one when the hair is dry, just like this, it kind of gives a dirty feel to the hair, which I need for my hair. If you like your hair to feel sleek and soft, this isn't the product you want to use. But if you're like me and you have fine hair, or really slippery hair that doesn't necessarily like to hold the body all day, this is an awesome way to go. Before I discovered this, I felt like my hair would go flat about halfway through the day, and now I don't really have to do my hair again. I could go with my hair like this and it looks pretty decent. But I like a little bit more fun to my hair. So I'm gonna practice putting in some flat iron curls, and I'll show you how I'm gonna do that. Watch your temperature setting. You really wanna make sure that when you have a flat iron that you are watching that temperature setting. Mine, I wanna have it right around 300. I don't want it much more than that because this is super blonde, even though it's got color in it. We had to bleach it really blonde to get it that color, and the rest of this too. So it's still fragile, it's strong and it's healthy, but it's still fragile. And so you just wanna make sure that you don't put heat on there that's too intense. Now the other tip, whenever you're curling with a flat iron, is to have a comb handy. And if you have to set your flat iron down and switch off and on, that's fine too. If you have to clip it back, do that. Do whatever comes easily to you. There's no wrong way when it comes to trying to figure out how to have 5 different hands when you're styling your own hair. So for convenience, I'm going to clip this back. So you want to think about your goal as to where you want your style to be eventually. And I want my hair to swoop to the side. So what I'm going to do then is I'm mainly going to concentrate my curl right through this section. Okay? And when you pull out a section, you want to make sure you comb through it so that it's nice and smooth. And then I'm going to hold my flat iron this way so I can twist it this way. So see how my palm is in the front? So I'm going to start with my palm and the palm of my hand away from my face, and I'm going to end with it being towards my face. And it's important that you don't touch these when they're hot. If you touch these when they're hot, you're going to completely relax it, and like with my hair, if I do that, it doesn't stay. It won't stay the whole day. It'll just flop right out. So if I want it to stay all day, I can't touch it. Now this piece is always a little bit trickier for me. I have a cowlick right here. It's kind of a widow's peak, but it goes whoosh, over like that. And sometimes I really like it up and out of my face. I'm not one to like it down in my face, but of course I have a large forehead, and so having it come across my forehead is usually more flattering than having it up and out. Up and out is okay too. Let's see, today I'm gonna go with a curl where it goes up and around, okay? So there again, we have to think about the direction we want it to eventually end up. So I'm gonna take my flat iron, my palm is towards my face, and if you think about it, and if you can't, sometimes I get backwards too as a hairstylist. So if you think about it and you put it in and then you try to do the motion and you twist your wrist, figure out what motion you're going to be using and figure out if you're doing it the right way before you clamp it in your hair. And let go before those ends get really tight. Okay? So now I have this chunk of hair, which is kind of funny because most of the time I will actually carry this chunk over here for a really more severe side part, and it's really pretty. But I also don't mind having it be in the front, and it looks like it kind of wants to hang that way today. So I'm just going to emphasize that. And there again, you want to make sure your placement is correct. So I'm going to start with my palm away from my face so that when I curl it, I can bring it around that way. Okay? So we're going to clamp it on there like that. See that? Okay. And then the next one, right next to it, I have an undercut, you can see, so it's nice and short, so I'm just grabbing these top layers, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I'm just kind of barely bumping it, but if you look, I didn't really bump it enough and it's too flat compared to this one. So I'm going to redo that one. So if you ever find that it's too flat, you just didn't bump it around enough. There we go. Okay. And then this one wants to go this way, so I'm just going to kind of let it. I'm going to just do that with it, just to give it some volume and some body. I don't necessarily want a bunch of curl around this area, I just want volume. So I'm just going to take my flat iron and kind of feel my way around There goes my phone. I may not be hitting every hair exactly, but just kind of feeling my way around my head. And then I'll take my mirror and double check to see if I missed any, okay? So now, depending on your hair type, and what kind of a look you want to go for will be dependent on what you end up doing with these. Some people, it looks really, really good to do this kind of look where they just leave it, or just kind of have it tie in like that, and I could do that too. I'm not going for too fancy today, but I do feel like I need just a little bit more movement in there than what I have. So what I like to do is I like to take a look at the actual organic way that the hair is wanting to go. And it looks as if, you know, it's separating right here into a chunk. So I'm going to take that chunk that's just naturally wanting to separate, and I'm going to bring curl down towards my face because it's already coming that way. If I were to go backwards with it, it would get really bouffantish. I don't want that. I just want a nice flat, closer to my head curl that gives it some body, okay? So again, think of the placement. It'll be away from my face to come back around. And like that, okay? Now, I have seen people do like every other one, and that looks really cool, especially if you're wanting a more dressy look to have it be more curly. Like I said, I don't really want a very curly look today. There's another hair that's kind of looking like it wants to be done. And I'm just gonna do all these along here just to kind of match what's already happening. And if you notice, I changed my position with the way I was doing it. So I positioned my hand this way so I could go kind of sideways back with it, okay? So watch that again. I'm gonna take my piece. You really wanna make sure that it's smooth. My hair is smooth, so I don't need to comb through it, but if I was worried about that, I would comb through it. So put it in there. Oh, see, I just about did it back. Flat iron like this, and then I would have turned it that way because that's naturally how my hand is setting. So that's why it's really important to pay attention to where you put it in. So I need to go in this way so I can get the opposite way to go, all right? Like that. All right, and sometimes when you're doing this, just depending on where your position is with the head and where the hair is, you don't have to watch it so carefully, but when you're right on top of your head here, you do really need to watch the way that you're doing it, okay? So this one, I have enough stretch, I can move it like that. So it really is all about hand placement. And like I said, I wanted these ones to go back, so and just a few more, and I'm not really even separating it that much. I'm just giving an overall movement to all of the hair, just so I get that volume and that fullness. Now right through here is a little different, and I might want to show a little bit more definition with those ends going back, a little bit more movement with those ends. We'll see. All right, so now I'm gonna shake through it because it's pretty much cooled off, especially in those places that are really important. I'm just gonna barely shake it and see kind of where we're at. Shake this out. And normally I don't take a super long time to do my curls. I'll take like 5 minutes, 10 minutes on a day that I wanna have fun. So obviously I'm taking more time today to explain it and walk you through it so that you can successfully try it on your own. So there is some nice movement and body to my hair without it being like extreme. And I feel really comfortable with putting some hairspray in this and going for the day. I feel like it looks pretty, it's got some flexibility and yet some good hold to it as well. So finish this style off. All right, so we're gonna finish this style off with my other favorite Kenra product, which is the Platinum 26 Finishing Spray. I like to use my fingers to really get in there and lift it and then spray it. So that's another little stylist trick. Sometimes people feel like they don't want to move it at all once it's in the right spot. But really, getting movement in there is gonna cause it to look more organic and natural instead of just in place, okay? So I stick my fingers in there and lift it just slightly, and then I spray it. Same thing with through here to kind of give it some pockets and movement through it. Kind of just stick my fingers in and then spray it. Same with that here. Now, I told you I was going to get a mirror to take a look, so we'll do that. You know what? That seems to look great to me. That's enough movement back there. I don't want it too fancy or anything like that. I'm not going anywhere special. I'm just running errands and doing my thing today. So just makes me feel like I put a little bit of more effort into it than maybe just leaving it flat against my face. And you know, it's funny, everybody's a little different. Some people really like a very, very soft hold so that they can keep running their fingers throughout the day. That's not this hairspray. If that is you and you like the movement, then you need to do like a softer hairspray. And one of my other favorites is their number 14, their platinum, Kenra number 14. That one gives you a softer hold so that you can move it throughout the day. So anyway, I hope that helped you understand how to curl your hair better. Now you can see that that hairspray, it's pretty stuck. It's not really going anywhere, and I like that. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you were able to pull something useful and fun out of this video. Please let me know in the messages below, or give me a like or a thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Thanks.